welcome back to the end of another week. It's Sunday. It's not Mother's Day out here in France, but I know it's Mother's Day in the US, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I got this north side done, at least ready for planting. So the idea is I'm going to try planting like garlic and things of that nature. I did get some of my lily of the valley planted, so they came as like, that one needs more dirt, and so does that one. But yeah, the lily of the valley came as like bare roots. So some of them are coming in, and technically those were supposed to bloom by like May 1st. Out here they have this thing where you give lily of the valley on May Day. So that was actually given to me by my mother-in-law, and I planted it. And all these other bare roots, they'll come up whenever this year, and then maybe next year we'll get a decent amount, but we'll see what happens. I planted some wild strawberries. These I actually found on the other side of the road because the farmer was out mowing everything, and I mistook him for the road crew who comes and cuts all of the brambles and stuff from the edge of the road. And we have these really pretty daisies, so I went out to pick daisies and then found wild strawberries. So I've gone ahead and planted some here and some elsewhere, but that's what those are. Out in the orchard, things are happening. I got these like guides to help bring the branches down, so we'll kind of see how that works. The fungal issues out here are really kicking my butt. It's so moist that I'm just having lots of issues with fungus. I did get my kiwis planted, so on the spiral, like there's one there, and basically all the way up here I have these little spirals, and at the base is a kiwi. So it's kind of like every other post there's one of those. So we'll see what happens. They're not the big fuzzy ones, they're like the little kiwi berries, which I really like, and I was only introduced to them out here, so hopefully they grow. The big fuzzy kiwis grow really well. This area that we live in is actually really well known for them. So yeah, I'm hoping that the little ones do just as well as the big ones. Moving up to my other strawberry patch, I filled it out again with more of those strawberries that I picked from the side of the road. So I have all the strawberries that are coming in, and I had basically a big blank patch here that I went ahead and filled in with the wild ones that I took from the roadside. And they're doing okay, but hopefully in a couple of weeks they'll really flush out. What else? I got my second honeyberry. My shadow's in the way. So yeah, this one is a honeyberry borealis, and that's Aurora. So we have Aurora borealis, and they pollinate each other. So I'm hoping for some great honeyberries there. What else? Those, I'll zoom in. Those down there are the daisies that grow on the side of the road. So I went ahead and grabbed some to try to get them to grow somewhere in my garden. Because yeah, if I zoom way over there, they come out and they basically like hack the side of the road, which is great because it maintains the roadside, but it means like everything that's growing there goes to nothing. Chickens are doing well. We actually have 2 layers now. I don't know who the second layer is. The black one in there is definitely one of the layers. And I think maybe the white one is the other layer, but I really have no idea yet. We're watching them. I moved their treacle food dish onto the pallet because they were like kicking mulch underneath it, and then the treacle wasn't working. So now it's working much better, and they do use it. So that's kind of cool. Down here, I think I showed you last week that I had some of the Apios americana popping up. So now again, each of these little spiral things has a little seedling at the bottom of it. And some are already starting to grow in. So my idea is that they'll grow up to a certain height where the chickens can't get it, and then I'll let them grow over the chicken coop. So that's happening there. What else? In the chicken pen, nothing much has happened since last week putting the net up. However, I did trim all the extra netting so that things wouldn't get like stuck in them. I picked up some raspberry plants. So right now I just have them against these. I'm not sure if that's where they're going to stay, but my idea is that I'm going to plant some raspberries in here too, with the cages to protect them. And that way anything that comes outside the cages, the chickens can eat. And hopefully things that grow inside the cage, we can harvest. I got these box things. So this is the sage that I propagated from the one down there. I did pick up another sage. So what is this? Oh yeah, blue. So that's like a pink. Well, you can see it's got a little like red flower on it. That's the Hot Lips. Like it's a red version. And apparently this says it's going to be so cool pale blue. So this should have, I'm assuming, blue or purple flowers, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. I planted one of my passion fruits here. I actually grew him from a seed last year. But I didn't get to plant him till just now, till this year. So there's actually another one somewhere else where I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, other things are Francis made this like arch thing to go on the gate because we were kind of figuring out how we were going to keep it hawk proof and potentially like make sure the chickens stay in. So I'm gonna mount it with some hardware cloth, and that way the netting can just kind of like hang, but then this will also have more of a structured thing. So that's happening there. I've ordered the fencing. It hasn't come in yet, but we are expecting it this week. So hopefully by next week the fencing will be up. I have more of the privacy screening that needs to come up, so I'll try to get that up as well. And then we can actually start letting the girls out into that other space. And then if I come back around, there's my other passion fruit that I grew from seeds. So hopefully those will grow. And then in the garden, that's my garlic, and it's doing really poorly. So it's super yellow because I have crazy rust issues this year. And apparently the bulbs, if they bulb, will do fine, but they haven't even started bulbing yet. So it is still May, so it's still early. So fingers crossed we'll get something there. But also, like, the onions aren't bulbing either. I have like all this green and no bulbs. So we'll see what happens. The The parsley that I planted is coming in pretty well. And then this I'm just letting go to seed. But yeah, I mean, part of gardening is just living through the disappointments and hoping things work out. But in here, the parsley is coming in. The tomatoes I'm not worried about. Every single year, the tomatoes, like regardless of how horrible they look when I put them in, seem to grow just fine. So like this one, like they're looking great. And these were really sad when I put them in. The peppers, on the other hand, we'll see. I mean, the peppers were also looking pretty sad. And my aubergines, which are like over here, were looking really, really bad. So I have purchased, well, I've ordered some more pepper plants and aubergine plants, and those should be arriving sometime this week. We had all these mixed seeds, which ended up being mainly radishes. So yeah, in here, you can see like there's a little thing there. We'll definitely get some radishes out of that. And then I did plant some carrots down the middle. And then these, I think these are leeks, but I'm honestly not sure. I also have all this bindweed. Oh my gosh. So these things, they're very pretty. They look like morning glories when they come in, but they're bindweed and it's everywhere. Super invasive because it just like spreads by little like rhizomes in the dirt. So that's driving me nuts. The aphids are going insane. So these are my fava beans, and yeah, they're covered in aphids. So aphids are wild this year, but we do have some snap peas, and I have other beans coming up and some more snap peas. And on the other side, I did get around to planting some other peas actually down in there. So I'll plant peas along here and we'll see what happens. I haven't grown peas before. But I still have plenty of volunteers. So I have like my nasturtiums that were growing here last year. And so they've popped up some babies. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave them there, but they're there for now. And then over here, I have some beets coming in. My Brussels sprout is flowering, so that's unfortunate, but it's okay because ultimately, like, the chickens can eat that if we don't end up eating it ourselves. Another nasturtium. These are like some funky perpetual leek. So apparently these monsters, Medusa heads, are totally normal. And I guess that's where the new ones, like they drop to the ground and then keep growing. So that's what's happening there. And the shallots are looking good. So I'm cautiously optimistic that the shallots are going to be fine this year. But even though we have onion greens, I'm not convinced we're going to have bulbs. And I'm holding out for the garlic, but like I say, the rust is super bad, so I'll be moving these somewhere else to grow next season. And yeah, I think that's it for this week. I'm not really sure what we'll be doing next week. Oh, I did harvest a bunch of my rhubarb though, and I'm making a rhubarb liquor. So hopefully that'll turn out well. And I planted some more shallot onions. So I planted some like summer shallots over there, and then red sun shallots here, which are like round globe. So they look like onions, but they're technically shallots. So all in here, we have more shallots. Unfortunately, my tree, my perpetual kale, I'm not sure it's going to survive. I've tried covering the last two remaining with these domes, and we're hoping for the best, but we'll see. And yeah, maybe next week I'll talk about some other like future plans, because we did have somebody come out to talk to us about the driveway. And Francis and I have been discussing like potentially where to put a shed. Originally, we were going to put one down there, but unfortunately, we found out that living out in the countryside, we're actually not allowed to build like semi-permanent structures within 5 meters of the property line. So if we were in town, apparently it's 3 meters. But out here, for whatever reason, it's 5 meters. So our idea of putting a shed down in that corner isn't going to work because there's not 5 meters. So we are kind of talking about maybe replacing the wood storage thing over there with some sort of shed. But we're still discussing it. So yeah, that's it for this week. I'll leave you with Mr. Deaf here, who can't hear anything, but he's my buddy. And yeah, I hope you have a happy Mother's Day, a good Sunday, and a good week. I'll see you next week. Bye.